What a way to start episode 10 of the Aussie Backyard Banter. A special episode joined from two fellow podcasters, but we'll get to them soon because another special guest, and he is a guest because he never shows up for our regular podcast. Tommy, welcome back, mate. How have you been?
Mate, well, thank you. Been well, been a bit busy. Been travelling the world, as some may say, or maybe I have a new 4-week-old daughter at home, one of the two. So
you've waited 4 weeks to tell your mum that she's got another grandchild?
No, she's been down a few times to visit, luckily.
Not like the first one.
Yeah, it's not like the first one, no. But no, it's been good, mate. Everyone's settling in well at home.
Yep,
it's just ticking along. Yeah, real nice. So.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I have been listening to the last two pods I did miss. And there's about 20 minutes of notes to abuse the boys on for talking shit about me when I'm not here. That's cool. So we'll catch up in a bit later, I reckon.
Bloody oath. And also, welcome back. Second, you've been self-demoted this time.
I'm very happy to be self-demoted. I just want to ask you, Tommy, out of those 20 minutes of notes you've got, how much of it is about the Mowers?
Probably 3.5. Then there's about 10 on netball. Just to have a go at you on that one. But no, yes, and that's the question we'll be asking the boys a bit later too, because I imagine they're going to be a bit of a petrol mowers rather than the battery ones.
Look, we
so we'll
never lead
that later.
Never lead a witness. But this podcast wouldn't be possible with the help of Southern Inland Rugby Union, and we've got our representative here. Introduce yourself, mate, whichever microphone you choose. Get in nice and close. But yeah, mate, welcome to the podcast, and introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, I appreciate having me on. I mean, didn't know I was coming on tonight, but I mean, why not spend 30 more minutes in this office than I am already? But yeah, Corey Larson, or known as Desi around the traps, depends good or bad, but you'll roll with Desi, but yeah, new to serve, so yeah.
Is that a slight accent? I'm South African, is it maybe, or what, Argentinian? What's the accent there, Corey?
Canberran, isn't it?
Yeah, depends who you ask. Yeah, haven't heard that one before, but yeah, originally from New Zealand, fell my way across shore. I mean, it's only 3 hours on the big Bluebird. But yeah, born and bred in New Zealand, we'll keep it that way. Glad the accent's still there because some people say you're losing it. So I'm glad Tommy's picked up on that. So yeah, born and bred.
Very good. And I'd introduce you two, but you guys podcast enough. So, gentlemen, Riverina Rugby Review podcast champions.
I don't know about champions, but yes, thank you so much for having us on, Tom. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
So,
what do you want to know?
Tom, while you're there, we asked this question of all our guests. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh, the first 3 that always come to mind for myself, and I'm not going to lie, thank you very much for asking me first. 3 words would be better looking twin. He's ugly as hell, and I like to think I just scrape in above him, so it makes things easy for me.
That's one.
Better looking twin is 3 words. Learn to count.
Yeah. No, but you're going to give us 3 things.
Well, he said 3 words, he didn't say 3 things. So let's say better looking twin, dad, and horrible footy player. Never been good.
Right. So, yeah.
Happy with those. What do you want to
pass it on?
Of course, it took you about 20 seconds to bring up you're a new dad. 3 things for me. Shit. Unprepared, undesirable, heavy set, I guess. Yeah, really having a great time with the podcast and just drinking most days when we do it. But, having a good time and really excited to be here and, joining in, I guess.
Well, and we thought we'd start off while we're in the birthplace of Southern Inland here, like the heart-beating zone. With you look at all the trophies that we've got here up on the wall. Most of them are yours, aren't they?
Yeah, the missus said they weren't allowed in the house, so no better place than bring them down to the office. And yeah.
Part of our contractual agreement doing a podcast here is that we showed the trophies to everyone so they know they're all yours. So we've ticked that box. But how has your impression been of the competition? You've been here for a couple of rounds. You've seen a lot of different competitions around. What are you most looking forward to about this season in Southern Inland? From an outsider's perspective. We'll get the in-depth knowledge from these two boys shortly.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been an interesting first couple of rounds. I guess, coaching a bit of first grade over in Canberra, then obviously you're doing a bit back in New Zealand. You definitely see the different styles of footy across the board. I mean, for example, we look at New Zealand, probably a bit more structured. In terms of Canberra, probably a lot more skill. And then you come to your Southern Inland, it's a bit of play, what's the sort of in front of you. Don't know who's going to be showing up to training on Tuesday and Thursday. And then you come Saturday, you sort of, jump on the field and have at least, a decent hour or so hit out on a Thursday as a team. And then, pretty much whatever shows up on Saturday is sort of what you get. But in terms of the styles, I mean, pretty similar across the board. But I mean, in terms of the standard of footy, like it's, definitely up there. And in terms of, I guess, the performances from most of the teams, it's going to be an interesting year. And hopefully we get a few upsets. And we'll see who's who's in that top 4 come finals time.
Yeah, it's great to have you a part of our team with your knowledge from those other competitions. I'm sure that the Riverina Rugby Review, lucky it's on your shirt.
Nailed it.
Yeah, lucky I'm editing. Boys, you've seen a lot of seasons, second year of the pod, so we're very excited to see how this season progresses. I'm sure you've learnt lessons from year one. Yeah. Guys, most excited, what are you seeing across the board? I know you guys did a fair bit with the preseason this year, something you didn't do last year, so you've kind of got more of an in-depth understanding of this comp than we have, and that's why we got you in here. What's probably the couple of things that stood out in your mind over the preseason in the first couple of rounds?
I think, look, we've spoken about it a bit. Disappointing for a couple of the women's teams. The competition is getting a bit smaller. A couple of the girls going over to like league tackle and that sort of stuff. But then you look at WAC, you look at TARS, who have 25 girls at training. So there's clearly still a desire. I think that's a big part of our region, as well as a bunch of international people coming over with fantastic talent. You think about Callie Vaipulu last year, now moving up to Canberra, and he's going to go a long way, as well as a couple of other people. So we're clearly a desirable region. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see how a couple of these players go. Hopefully they stick around for a while. You look at the Griffith new coach, Izzy. Yeah, he wanted to come here to coach in this region. And so we're clearly desirable. And yeah, we need to keep our competition going as long as we can. Obviously, I think everyone knows rugby's dying, but anything we can do to kind of keep it going, whether it's grassroots rugby, the juniors, women's comp, whatever it is, I think we just need to kind of keep pushing for that.
Sorry, Tommy. Yeah.
Do you think the biggest attraction to this region is how close we are to the Brumbies as well? Like, you look at, say, the Waratahs, they cover such a large area, and if you're pretty much this side of the mountains, they don't really care who you are unless you're a freak CNET who's being transferred to Joey's or Riverview or somewhere. Do you find, for the fact that Canberra's 2 hours away, Brumbies are out here, the DOs work really close with us and everything too, do you reckon that's a big push that they can see the end goal right there in front of them?
I think that's a part of it, but at the same time, and I've never been involved, but I think that's also a big selling point for a lot of clubs getting internationals in. It's the selling point of, Canberra's right there, and once again, I've never been a part of it, but I don't know how many of these clubs are saying we're a feeder club to Canberra teams and like we're a feeder club into the Brumbies. How much of that is sprinkled on a little bit of a touch, but yeah, I think the pathway between us and Canberra, and obviously those higher honours, would be a lot easier than Central West and those kind of guys trying to get into Sydney. That's never going to happen for them, unfortunately, unless like you said, they are a genetic freak. Unless they're in Sydney, they're not getting in.
I love the opinions. They're never going to make it, but anyway.
Well, you look at people like Corey Toole. He was, I don't know if he was born in Wagga, but he was in Wagga since he was a kid, and now he's basically in the Wallaby side. You look at people like Viola Davis, April Green, all of these players.
Dylan Preece.
Yeah. I guess Dylan. God, I can't stand him. But yeah, we have the talent to do it. Whether it's because we're not city people, that we don't get looked at as closely. But yeah, we've got the talent here, so the more we can kind of get into those higher rep honours, the better.
Yeah, 100%.
And one big thing, Corey, in New Zealand, do you see the same pathways of overseas players going to New Zealand for a chance to make super teams or anything, or it's just the homegrown talent's good enough they don't have to look outside the area to get players in?
Yeah, it's a different one in New Zealand. I mean, not many players tend to come to New Zealand to get the opportunity. Mostly players leave New Zealand to get those opportunities. I guess, yeah. New Zealand's probably in a bit of a tough spot at the moment. If you look at like the secondary school sort of New Zealand teams, they've been thumped by the Aussie schools the last couple of years. And in terms of, I guess, their younger age group representative programs, league's definitely shopping around quite close in New Zealand, and a lot of those players are losing to league. But yeah, a lot of players tend to leave New Zealand rather than come to New Zealand for those opportunities at the moment.
That's interesting. And I suppose from your perspective, what brought you over to Australia? Was it the rugby side of things, mate, or was it other work opportunities?
Oh, yeah, good question. I mean, it's funny how it sort of played out. It was after a couple of back-to-back final losses over a couple of years, and it was after a big silly Sunday, mad Monday, well into Tuesday, and sort of woke up being like, I've sort of done my dash here, and just flicked through the old sports people and saw this Brumbies role pop up, and before you know, I had an interview, and then 2 weeks later I was flying to Canberra, had no idea of anyone in Canberra or what the role actually entailed, and walked in the office day one, and you did a couple of years there, then moved out to Surrey after that. So
that's awesome. Yeah, no, and I think that's probably one strength of rugby that has probably over a lot of sports we spoke about, it being that international sport. Like we've talked about even today, just some of the referees coming from London that's joined in our our ranks, and I know that's my referee bias, but it's good to see that those skills, it's, all around the world, from Europe to New Zealand to Australia to South Africa, wherever you are, there's always seems to be a rugby presence that you can connect to people. Go back to you boys here now with your podcast. What do you think is your favourite part of doing it? Is it mentioning how many tries name withheld scores on a weekly basis based on the app? Is it getting to the games? Is it the sponsorship deals that I think you guys mentioned pre-show?
I'd say the abuse. I'd say the abusive texts we get a few hours after the podcast releases.
That's not bad, actually. Yeah, we get the odd one, but that's okay. We'll live and learn. I think the biggest thing is when we first started this, we wanted to be our own thing. So that I really enjoy deciding what we're going to do, deciding how we're going to go about it. Obviously, last year was our first year and we were very soft. We were very we just want everybody to be happy. And we've moved through that, and the end of year review was kind of, guys, you're not bad, but nobody's perfect. Let's start going harder. So this year we're going to be being a bit more critical, and neither of us are good footy players. We've played since we were about 10 years old, so what's that, about 18, 19 years. So we've got a lot of experience playing footy, never high level. Once again, we're not good, but we have opinions, and our biggest thing was there's just no talk around the zone. You've got no idea. After a game on a Saturday, you'd go back to the sponsor pub, and before the first grade prezos, every single club would do, okay, good, let's do around the grounds, and we'll have this team beat this team. Oh, wow, I wonder what happened there. You'll never find out. So that's our biggest thing of we watch all the VOs back as soon as we can, and then we try to discuss what happened in the game. So kind of people around the zone are understanding, oh shit, I was out of the uni, I know what happened there, but I got no idea what happened at Griffith. So the most fun is putting our spin on things and being our own people and trying to get as much rugby around as we possibly can.
Yeah, and I just will say quickly too, Corey, feel free to leave whenever you want. We can only afford you for one beer, mate. So if you just walk out when you've had enough, just feel free. We won't hold that against you.
I think it's because we mentioned that Corey drinks his beer very slowly. He's trying to power through it to impress us.
He is the only one drinking a schooner, though, I must add. We hear all the biddies.
To be fair, I took this role also to sort of move away from that culture. So I thought, why not leave New Zealand, get away from it as far as possible, and then
mission accomplished.
Find my way to Wagga, where not much of that happens over here. So
yeah. And that's just going back to your boys' statements before, I think it's a cool thing to bring to rugby. And the other thing too is your stories. We spoke a bit before the podcast, and I've known you guys through the refereeing ranks, but you guys are juniors through and through, followed the pathways through the rugby, and now giving back. And I know you said that you're not, quite shit player. I think this is what I love about rugby is that, just because you're not the best on the field, you're giving back in other aspects. And whether that's running a canteen or being part of the presidency or running a podcast to get more notoriety, I think it's a cool thing, and that's what we need to encourage guys in that age bracket now where you kind of finish playing but still want to be a part of the club.
Yeah, I think Tom mentioned what he liked. I love going out to places that aren't Connolly. I was in Griffith over the weekend, and so many people, hey, Drew, how are you? How's the podcast going? Listen to the last episode, loving it, all that sort of stuff. I don't know, I think because we've been in the area for so long, coming up through juniors, we've now been in seniors for so long, everyone kind of recognises us or kind of knows us. And so everyone's happy to have a chat. We love getting to know everyone, and whether it's little things like the Griffith menu at the canteen over the weekend and stuff like that. We just love that sort of stuff because you just don't hear about it. And people put so much effort and time into these things. So, yeah, we just want to shine a light on it, I guess.
Who has got the best canteen?
Griffith, simple as that.
Really?
I'm not saying they cook the best steak or anything. We'll do that at some point. But I would say, all in all, my favourite trip is to Griffith because the way they run that canteen is sublime.
We'll have to get you back on halfway through the season just to get a review on these important issues.
Sorry, we went to the Reddies game versus Tumut last week. Was there a canteen at the new sports?
Yeah, there was over in the corner. Yeah, but they didn't sell beers, so we didn't go over.
Boo.
That's right, yeah.
But we gave them benefit of the doubt because it was the first game that they had there and they were sorting out licensing issues. So we didn't comment on that. One thing I did want to talk to you guys about, obviously coming through the junior ranks, and that how do you see that pathway from juniors coming through into the clubs now from the perspective of guys that have come through that rank?
When we were coming through, we had a core group of about 10 to 12 guys that we played from about the age of 10 all the way through, which was awesome to always play together. We had a few guys that would obviously come and go because they were the year older than us, but we would always have the same coach moving up. So, in all honesty, the only reason that the two of us and so many other guys moved up to City back in 2014 was because our coach throughout juniors was an old boy with City, and we just thought, oh, we'll just follow you. A few of the boys went to Waratahs because their dads had played there, but like the junior kind of development into seniors back then was just follow who you know. Nowadays, let's move outside of Wagga. Your Griffith, your Leeton, your Tumut, they need as much input into their juniors as they can get to show them the pathway. Whereas Wagga's a little bit different because we obviously have 4 senior clubs. It's where do we go? So I know that Wagga Juniors several years ago started a thing where they start getting every Friday night a different club from Wagga to come in and help them out and just start showing them there is a pathway to come through. But in all honesty, unless you're going to the university, you're not picking whack unless you're specifically, you can talk to it, Tommy, but unless you're going to the uni, you're not going to whack. Now that Reddies have moved away from the uni, they really need to invest heavily in the juniors as much as they possibly can. And then it kind of has continued through Wagga City and Wagga Waratahs. The juniors are coming up and following their coach. Like the last several years, Matt Young from Waratahs and Michael Kang from Wagga City have been coaching juniors moving up, either their sons or have just been involved, and players are following them, but there just needs to be a bit more buy-in. But it's there. It's just needs more. There's always more can be done.
Big thing with that is, do you find, like, say you look at for the first grade squads throughout the whole say 4 Wagga teams, and how many actually born and bred Wagga, like second grade and third grade, of course, they'll be full of them. But do you find there's more and more locals not being in the first grade programs? Like there's more people travelling for that rugby experience?
Yeah, definitely. You look at like the first grade Wagga City side to start with, and you know, from the team there was last year to this year, I think there's 4 familiar faces. Yep. There is a big influx of people coming to the region, like we talked about before, which makes the second grade and third grade sides stronger because people that would have been playing ones are being pushed out because they're just not getting picked in ones. But yeah, those kids coming up, I know it's tough because the last time we had a proper 17s comp was when Tom and I played 17s in 2013, 14, something like that. And there is a big divide between when you finish up juniors stepping up into seniors, and you know, if you're a 16, 17-year-old kid and then you're suddenly into third grade against 40-year-olds that want to break you, that's tough. Whereas, you know, you're at school with all your mates, oh yeah, I'm still playing AFL or rugby league, come and play with me sort of thing. And you know, obviously we're losing numbers every year, which is tough. So whether it's the junior comp, the Friday night comp has been a big success. But yeah, just trying to keep those kids in our sport.
There is a big thing that Jack Heffernan left behind after he left that I know the DOs and Corey are trying to sort out is the pathway of where your 14s, your 16s, your 18s are moving into. So you can definitely talk to that. But there is a lot more this year and last year than there has been for a good 5 to 7 years. You're right. There was just a big drop off of cool. I need to move into third grade, and it's third grade is a lot. It's
a massive thing to get those older guys
especially for a
coming back.
17-year-old who's been a winger his entire life, who's stick thin, who's moving up to third grade. Oh, cool. We're traveling over to Leeton this week, and Quinton runs out on the field. And, oh god, so there is a pathway now, which is really great to see, and it's going to take some time to get there. There is a several-year plan, but it is there, which is really good to see.
God, he took a breath. Far out. What? Yeah, so you're obviously working on that pathway a bit now with the schools and those things.
Yeah, I mean, before Jack left, they obviously had a plan set in place and pretty much told me don't fuck it up. So the idea this year was to move boys to 15s and under 17s. Probably about six weeks ago, the junior club presidents sort of came together and we had a bit of discussion that the numbers probably weren't looking where they wanted to be, having, I guess, these sort of chats last year on moving to 15s and 17s. So yeah, we made a decision to move to boys 14s and 16s and stretch the 17s. And then, yeah, we decided to go a year early and go to under 18s. So we got 14s, 16s and 18s boys tackle this year. In terms of the 16s numbers, I think we've got about 7 under 16 sides, which is more than what we're going to have if we run 15s or 17s. And at the moment, we've got 3 standalone under 18 sides. So sort of working with those clubs involved in the under 18 space, what a meaningful sort of competition looks like. I mean, yeah, it can get quite repetitive to play the same team week in, week out. So just looking at a few opportunities there. But I guess the tough thing as well was sort of working with, for example, like the likes of Albury and Leeds, and they do rely on a few of those these younger players to fill their rosters in terms of, I guess, third grade and second grade. So some of those players who are 18 this year are allowed to play senior rugby. I mean, we're not going to force them to play under 18s, given that 6 weeks ago there was no under 18s. So sort of working with those clubs in terms of keeping their players part of the senior group, and then hopefully on the Sundays where possible, obviously the third grade draw is not every weekend, and there's obviously a bit of a break here and there and school holidays and whatnot. So hopefully some of those older players sort of drop down in the under 18 space and have a bit of run around. I sort of have told the junior presidents that if there are a handful of players, look to, I guess, create a fourth team in terms of bar sort of style, and I'll happily put my hand up and coach that. So sort of just working through it at the moment. But yeah, we have jumped the gun and gone 14s, 16s, 18s. And in terms of the girls space, we're running 14s girls and 17s girls. And I think our 17s girls numbers are sitting about 7 teams here as well. So we've got good numbers there. So hopefully, yeah, that sort of transfers into 18s for the girls next year, and hopefully those 16s move to 18s for the boys from next year as well.
Yeah. And obviously, Tommy, you've had a fair bit of experience coaching those guys from high school, that 18s group above.
It is, but I enjoy coaching that one more just personally, just because they're coachable. Like, they're still keen to learn. They're still, when I started doing the 18s this year with Cal, like, they want to learn. Like, they're there to learn. Where, like, last year at Warriors, I was coaching people who'd played first grade shoot shield, first grade John Cup. It's like, well, what can I teach you? Like, you're just like, at least out there, they're like, it was very enjoyable out at the uni. Like, you can actually teach them, they listen, and they actually, you can shape them to become better footy players. So but I think one last footy question before we move on. And overall rugby, where do you see Australian rugby going in the next 2 years with the World Cup coming up?
I think it all hinges on the World Cup, doesn't it? The Lions tour was successful, but that was the first step. World Cup's huge. We needed to do well to funnel that money in, to hopefully funnel down through grassroots rugby. Yeah, I wasn't able to get tickets. I really wanted to go to a couple of the games over in Adelaide, but wasn't able to do that. So that's a good sign, I guess, that places are selling out. But yeah, we need the World Cup to do well, basically. And you think about hopefully a couple of the younger kids that are kind of on the fence about rugby league, rugby union, they see a few of the leagueies coming over to have a crack at it. Maybe that gets a few more people watching it. That'd be interesting. You know, you look at Lomax, Crichton, all that sort of stuff. They're coming over because they want to play in it, which might bring more eyes. Oh, cool. I like to watch him with the Roosters. Let's see how he goes for Australia in the rugby union. And shit, actually, that was a lot of fun. Maybe I'll give it a go. So I think it's going to be a positive, but we need it to do well.
Yeah, I've got nothing really to add. We need to get more wins. More wins bring success, and it brings more eyes and more views. It all comes down to wins, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Corey, Kiwis, are they going to finally...
Are you nervous?
Win one in Australia? Are you nervous? Like, it's your time to choke over here, or is it in the bag, or what do you reckon?
To be fair, it's probably a New Zealand World Cup as well, given how close we are to Australia and how many Kiwis have migrated across here for work opportunities. So, to be fair, the ABs have obviously got a big 16 months there, obviously new coach at the helm. But one thing to probably point out, Rugby Australia have made a profit, so we're back in the positives. So I think they announced that clearly on socials the other day that they've actually made a bit of money. So let's hopefully that you make a bit of money, spend a bit of money. So let's see how that goes.
100%. A lot of government funding too, helping with that, and junior programs and those things for pathways. So hopefully that continues, because like we said, you don't have a sport without the juniors coming through in that next level. It's all good to buy players at the elite level, but without the support of those young fellas coming through, like the Riverina Rugby Review Boys, I've nailed it that time. I've been practicing.
I've seen you for the last 10 minutes going, just look at the boys' pecs going, how do I read this and not look weird, look at their chest.
That's why I set up this way. But moving on, there's been other issues that we needed to talk to you boys about, and we will let you go. Thank you very much for the room.
We won't go through your files and such.
Tom, sorry.
Yeah, we just did a mid-round break so Emma could remember the names. But you've taken your seat back at the start, or the head of the table. But you wanted to start. Welcome again. I'm back on the microphone. You had a question to lead us off with.
Well, actually, I've got a few things. Bit disappointed I didn't get asked my opinion on rugby, which my opinion is it's either stacks on or it's rugby league. Like, that's how I grew up learning the difference. My question to you guys is, I suppose I don't know if you're identical twins, but bloody hell,
we are identical, yes.
What's been the strangest comment or question that's been asked of you two, like around being a twin?
We get the classic, can you read each other's minds, all that sort of stuff. We don't. We just talk. We say the exact same thing because we were raised the exact same. And so when something happens, we just naturally have the same reaction. I did have one of the new City boys, I think it was about last week, I think Junior Arvo, one of the boys. He's like, oh, hey, you're the one that runs the podcast, don't you? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, do you have a twin brother? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I thought it was just you running the podcast on your own. And then I think back on it, I'm like, the way that we run the podcast, we don't just, how, do we sound similar? I don't get how, and that's not the first time that's happened either. What about you, Tom?
I get the odd one of if because I'm with Waratahs and Drew's with City. We get the odd one of if I'm talking to somebody and then I kind of wander off and they see Drew walking past like really soon after. The thing is, how did he get changed so quickly? Or wait, didn't you just go that way, sort of thing? So we get that a fair bit. But no, it's actually pretty good. People in the zone have figured out, because obviously, like we said, we came up through juniors. People have figured out there's two of us, and so it's actually pretty good. It's not too bad.
Do you ever get the whole conversation? Like someone come to you like, hey, Drew, how you going? And speak to you, Tom, thinking you're Drew. Do you just go along with it and same, or do you just go, actually, nah, wrong twin? Or
no. If I'm walking down the street, something like that, someone yells out, "Hey, Tom!" I was like, "Hey, mate," I just keep going. What's the point of wasting another few minutes of my day? It happens a fair bit. We've had a few times where, so we're both married. And one day I was with my wife walking downtown, and I think it was when Tom was coaching junior girls team. And she saw me, thought I was Tom. She messaged Tom's wife, Chloe, hey, Tom's downtown holding hands with another girl.
Genuinely happened, yeah. I was in Goulburn with Chloe at the time, and she got a text and looked at me. I just got a text from somebody saying that you're downtown and Wagga holding hands with a girl. Yeah, that genuinely happens.
Has your partners ever got you guys confused?
No, we Drew and his wife, we all went to high school together, so it never happened. And then Chloe, we all were with City back in 2018, so she's always known that there's been two. Never been a problem between the girls, which is good.
Always matching beards? Who had the beard first? And the other one went, that looks really good. I'm going to copy it.
So we went to track here in Wagga, and they had a really stringent no facial hair policy at all. So we started shaving really young, and that's why
jealous.
That's why they're kind of so full. But Drew, you take care of yours a lot more than I do. I just kind of let mine go. I do my neck and my cheeks occasionally, but like I let mine just go.
Because Drew's like got the rule around and measured this perfect centimeter.
I just don't have time. But yeah.
And while we're talking about stuff that we're similar or dislike, Tommy has about 6 pages of Mower chat, which we need to discuss.
Please,
boys, we need an unbiased opinion, a fresh mind. Emma's got a red mower. That's all she'll let us know about. That said mower. Tommy's still on the electric bandwagon, even after my neighbours who started the electric mower bandwagon gave up on theirs and went petrol.
Well, obviously, they're losers.
Where do you sit now?
Look, I've got an old Victor mower. I think I got it off mum and dad. But I felt like such a dick a few weeks ago. I pull up to the petrol station, I jump out, fill up the car, and my plan, it was a Sunday. Yep, cool, I'll mow the backyard. So that I pull out a petrol can as well. And then just the looks I got for possibly hoarding petrol, I felt like such a dick. It was bad. But no, I'm petrol. You got to, just the smell of it, cut grass, petrol all the way.
Yeah.
Petrol as well, unfortunately.
Fortunately, don't say unfortunately. Double down.
Okay. I don't know who lands where. No, petrol mower. It just, you're right, it smells right. Petrol mower, but electric whippersnipper and blower.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I knew we got you on for a reason. That was it. But Tommy,
just why 50-50? Like, just go all out electric or all out fossil fuels.
No, because I cannot rock up to another petrol station with another little jerry can to get more fuel. I have to do it with a hood on, and I can't have the judgment. No.
And just say, no, I'm a twin. It's okay.
I'm a twin. It was
other one. And you guys love your rugby, but also any other sports you follow or play growing up or anything?
So growing up, we played every single sport except for AFL. Never interested in AFL. So we started when we were quite young playing soccer and league, as I'm sure a lot of kids did. And then we got to the age of 10 and Dad put us into union. Did that since. We did water polo. We did triathlons. We did a couple of Ironmen. We were just every sport.
And recently, fully into golf. We've got a golf trip coming up this weekend.
Lovely.
I'm very happy that we've got a Friday night game so I can take off early Saturday morning and go and play some very bad golf. But yeah, fully into
Who's a
golf.
better golfer? Who's got a better handicap?
Me.
Oh,
I don't know if
hands
Tom
down?
mentioned it, but Tom's a recent dad, so he hasn't had time to play much golf. I'm loving being an uncle. Hold baby, enjoy baby, give baby back. Piss off to Sydney next weekend for a concert just because I want to.
Yes, which concert?
Mumford & Sons.
Oh.
Couldn't get tickets for this weekend, so we're going to go midweek. It's a Wednesday night. But yeah, it's going to be
Yeah, not
fantastic.
seen them before, or first time seeing them?
No,
or?
second time. Saw
Nice,
them
yeah.
in Melbourne a few years ago. They put on a show.
Yeah.
They're going to be great.
My brother Connor, which Mitch knows quite well, he saw them years ago and he said it's still the hands down the best concerts he's ever seen. He said
It
changed his life.
Yeah, it was that.
I can be one of the sons.
He was. He literally thought that.
Grew a beard, bought a banjo, took off his shoes, and he's good to go.
Mate, and that's not an inaccurate representation of one of my favourite Le Mans. But there is midweek drama in Sydney, not just from Mumford & Sons. And Am, I need to bring you in on this because there's been some netball news. Now, for those who keenly follow the podcast as you two do, New Zealand Netball have lost their CEO, their head leadership, and Australia's followed suit. Today, I noticed it came across my desk at lunchtime that they had sacked, or the unofficial sack. I don't know, Em, how do you take the news that the CEO of Australian Netball's gone?
No, I don't think it's been sacked. I think there's already a person involved taking over her spot, so I don't think it's been sacked. I think she's been in the leadership part for 15 years, so I think she's had her time, and it's time to move on.
Mid-season? Is that the right time?
Is there a right time?
Seems like she's pushed. Oh, no, from I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe not mid-season.
Mad
Sus.
Monday's the best time to sack someone. Just get it done, start fresh next year.
I think she's done great things with, obviously we'll come into it as well, but the whole 5-year deal of free to air on, that's Netball's going to be on soon, as of next year. So
Yeah, I did read that. So is that every live game free to air, Am, or how's the
controversial. So next year they've said that all games will be on 9 or 9 now, but they haven't said whether it's going to be live or whether it's going to be delayed. So that's controversial right there.
What time are usual netball games played? Are they played in the middle of the day? Are they played at night?
Yeah, so Saturday it's 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and then on Sunday it's 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
So then, so then 9 and 9 now are deciding whether to play the netball women's live or potentially play it against NRL, which is on 9. So
Exactly right.
hopefully
So-
they win. Who cares about league?
Yeah, so it's just interesting what's going to happen, and I think it's great that it's moved to free to air, but the keen people want to know what's happening live.
Does that mean Foxtel is going to lose it?
Foxtel have lost.
Yeah.
So Netball Australia are losing money. They've decided to lose some of the money to try and get more viewers, which the Netball World Cup is next year as well, which is going to be a great thing, and lots of people getting involved in that.
Where's that one being held?
In Sydney.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Tickets
so-
already?
No, but I tell you what, I will be lining up.
the show will be there.
Look,
I've called it early.
we're going to America. We're getting sponsored to go to America for the Yankees.
And
we
the
might
Olympics, yeah.
We might as well go to Sydney.
We'll keep over-promising. Yeah. But there is a massive round of netball coming up soon. Obviously, this weekend when the podcast comes out, the game will already have happened. But the grand final rematch from last year, and then there's another cracking game as well this round coming up.
Yeah, so last week we had first versus second. So that was a ripper of a game. There was only a few points in it. And then this game is, rematch of the grand final last year. And Vixens only won by a goal last year, so it'll be very interesting to see. Unfortunately, West Coast have got lots of players out with injuries, but they're starting to come back now, so we'll see.
Now, the Swifts went down the route of bringing in some old has-beens out of the cupboard. Dusted them off for this. They were genuinely retired. There's no other way to put it. They were has-beens out of the cupboard. How did that go for the girls? They've played a couple of rounds now.
Yeah, so Katrina Rilray came out of retirement. So she last played in 2019, which is a long time ago, to come back and play professional sport. She actually played really bloody well in her first game. Then they pulled her on again for the second game. She was pretty much sat on the bench a fair bit of the time. But the experience was needed. And I'm cursing you. I don't know if anyone believes in superstitious, but Swifts were winning until you turned it on and then we lost it. So I'm blaming you solely for that performance.
Just one thing on that. I was listening to it on my walk at the morning, that podcast, and they talked about, was it 7 years they retired ago?
Yeah.
I was furious. How is there no one in the program to bring up through? And you boys have the
there's
same
gotta
thing.
be
Like, surely
training
there's someone
partners.
in the last 7 years who can fill that spot, who's been training up and coming, like, and they're coming second last. So
last.
nothing to lose. It's not like you're winning games and like
Look
you
for the
need to win.
future. I think we spoke about
it's-
that. Like,
I was outraged by it when I heard about it. Yeah.
So I actually did some research on this. So there was finals. There's lots of defenders. So we needed a defender was the whole point of this. A lot of defenders in the training partner system were out injured, as well as there was finals from the reserves. So they wanted to play finals in regards to, so if they played for the Swifts, they were ineligible to play. So
you can play up, but play one game and then you can't go down.
you can go back down, but you can't that weekend. So there was a big finals on that weekend. So a lot of, I don't know. Controversial again. That's what netball is.
It is. Like, imagine someone came into your spot after 7 years off, say, oh, you know what, mate, you could go to first grade this week, but we'll get someone retired in 2019 and come fill your boots. You'd be pretty annoyed.
Yeah, look, as a netball novice, none of this is making any sense to me. I just
Now
just
you know
as
how Emma felt for the first 20 minutes of this podcast.
but just as a sports person, I'm just trying to rack my brain as to how they thought that would be a good idea. I don't get it.
In saying that, though, it kind of was a good idea because you played bloody well.
But the Swifts are still...
Second last.
Because of you, Mitchell.
The kind of what it shows those younger players. Yes, even though they were pushing for finals and they were injured, but kind of what it shows the younger players is. Sorry, I can kind of guarantee there would have been one player that would have said, no, I want to crack it once. Is it first or top grade, whatever it's referred to. I want to do that. I understand we're playing finals and I get the team's not doing great. I want to play. I don't think that option was given.
I totally agree. Like, even from the referee sense, like, any chance to do that top grade, you're giving up everything. Like, bugger at finals in second grade. Like, that's second grade. Your opportunity to be in the elite level of any sport for me. But yeah, that's why I was surprised.
If it was any other team, I'd be agreeing with you 100%. It's because I'm a very one-eyed Swifts supporter. That's why I want the experience. Because as well, we had so many people injured. We had 450 games of people that were on the bench injured. So that doesn't sound a lot in, rugby, footy kind of talk. But when there's only 14 games a year for netball, excluding finals, that takes 10 years to build up that many games. So that's a lot of experience on the bench.
That's a very big bench.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but exciting to get that 5-year deal from Nine. I hope that gets more exposure for the netball, especially coming into that World Cup years. Because I think, like any sport, the more exposure, the more sponsorship, obviously, and hopefully we get more players coming through that we don't have to pull out old has-beens from the closet. But we'll see. Now, you boys just mentioned before, Emma was talking about who cares about rugby league. I think the exact words that Shane Flanagan are saying right now, former coach, we have to talk about a bit of this because NRL are chewing through coaches quicker than we are beers here in this podcast tonight. So, Tommy, you've kept an eye on it, I have no doubt. What's your thoughts, mate? The coaches are this is what, the second coach this year?
Yeah.
And I don't even think we're halfway through the season.
7 seed. Oh, this round starts round 8. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
It's just an interesting one, like, especially the Manly one was out 3 weeks ago. Like, Kieran Foran's done an amazing job now, but why not bring him in pre-season?
Exactly.
Like, why would you say, right, we're going to give this coach a whole pre-season? You got 4 games, go. Like,
but also, yeah,
it's just an interesting one. Like, surely if they brought a coach in earlier, or sacked him in the off season, then this coach can stamp everything and go through the whole pre-season, the whole season with them.
What's going to be said when Manly lose their first game that Foran is coaching?
We won't lose a game.
Manly boy. I can't say much about it. I'm actually a Dragon supporter. From the other side of view, with the Dragons, why sack Flanagan this week and bring in an interim to, let's be serious here, to lose to the Roosters and then have a bye? Give Flanagan one more week and tell him, hey, you know you're getting fired.
And it's a
What if he
Saturday
wins?
night. He won't.
but I guess if you look at the start of the season as well, you look at the Cowboys and Todd Payton. First 2 weeks, everyone's like, "Yep, cool. He's surely going to go." But now Cowboys are flying. A couple of wins, drink water, all of that debacle. But no, it seems to be working for him, and no one's said anything about shit. Payton should go either. So I guess it works for the Cowboys. It just hasn't worked for Manly or for the Dragons.
I just think it's weird that there's no confidence in these coaches anymore. Like, I could only imagine it would be the hardest job because you're only as good as the players that you've got in front of you. Like, you can only lead as good as the people. I don't know. I would hate to be a coach. I don't know how you do it, Tommy, But
And then you've also got Shane's son, who's also in the side, who has now been dropped to reserves or whatever it is.
Reserves, yep.
Yeah.
Is he good? I don't watch. Was he there because Daddy's the coach kind of thing?
I think that's the
Or
general
was he-
I think that was most of the consensus.
'Cause he's
from the
played a few
upset
different
fans.
clubs, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
he's moved
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
I think people are mad at the club and, oh, cool, let's look at dad and let's look at son and blame
Yeah.
both of them. I don't know. Halfback is such a tough position in NRL, and his forwards weren't giving him a decent platform to play off. And he's a 7. He's the mark. Well, he's not marquee. It'd be Val Holmes. But yeah, I guess we dropped the 7.
Yeah.
The thing was when Coach Flanagan came in to coach, he brought his son over, but he brought him over as a hooker, and he's never played hooker for the club. He's only ever played 6. But he's a halfback, but they're constantly playing him at 6. They wouldn't put him in the correct position. It makes no sense. They were playing so many mind games with the jersey, the numbers on the back of the jersey. It just made absolutely no sense.
Do you find watching league though now numbers in the back are nearly irrelevant?
It gets to that point.
Like
Your higher
you have
players,
your playmakers, like
yeah.
you have your 6, 7, 1, 9 probably. Then everyone else is the same build,
Get out there
cut,
and play
copy,
footy. Yep.
and just you run, you
Absolutely.
catch, you pass. Like it's
Absolutely.
I reckon that's the strength of rugby union though now too, because you're still allowing for different body types.
Oh, all body
like I
types,
think
yeah.
you get
God,
3.
yes.
Like you get 3. But the other thing, Tommy, you'd spoken to me about a bit of feedback about the NRL. I was pretty scathing of the 6 again law that's coming for this season, and I felt like I was a little bit vindicated because looking at the injury list now coming into, we just said, was it round 7, round 8?
This round, we're about to start round 8. Oh, it depends on when we release this.
Yeah, no,
But
it'd be-
time of recording, we've just finished 7. We're about to start 8.
Perfect. The injury list is absolutely phenomenal for NRL at the moment. And that was my worry. We did talk about concussions being a concern, but how have you seen the 6 again, Tommy? And obviously boys and Emma too, if you want to have an opinion, because I don't think it's a great thing for the game.
From the 3 games of league I've watched all year, it's not too bad. I understand why teams are doing it. Like it's why league changed it, because teams just give away the penalty, because a penalty is just a set reset. You get your breath back, you can reset on your line again. Where now they're brought in the 6 again rule, you haven't got time to stop.
But
It's
also,
just
they're giving more 6
which is
agains
good.
than they were penalties.
Is that because they're tired, or
No, but like just in general.
yeah? But what's the reason? Like are the players getting tired, so they're getting lazy around the ruck, or
I am on the other side.
I've
of
also
things.
watched 2 NRL games, so
I will admit I watch as many NRL games as I can. Drew and I are really big into Supercoach.
Yeah.
And we have a work fantasy draft comp. With the 6 again though, there is absolutely no accountability on the referees. They can call 56 agains in a game. Not a single one has gone back and looked at during the game, whereas penalties are constantly looked at. So it assists the referees.
this is a question too. Can you do a captain's challenge on a 6 again?
No.
Yeah, so
A
that
6
was
again
one.
is like an advantage in union. It's just keep going. But if you knock it on straight away, then it's a handover. But like it's just keep going. But a referees can call it for a million different things. They don't have to explain why they're calling it. They just have to call out 6 again, and then there's the big noise over the speakers for all the players. Yeah, the hooter for all the players to hear, and they just keep going. But there's no accountability of it whatsoever in the game. I'm sure there is after the game with like their referee breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. But in game, it's just keep going. It's just go faster.
and it's just for ruck infringement, isn't it? Like
No, offside.
offside.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other
Yeah,
thing I
within
will
the 10,
say,
yep.
that I've noticed a lot in, again, the 2 games I've watched, but it seems like goal line defence has changed. So if you're defending, the 6 again means nothing because you're not moving far back. You're more likely to give those couple away if it gives you guys a chance to stop them, because attacking teams now, they don't get a penalty or a quick tap.
Yeah.
They don't get to do a set play. They're just going halfway through the set. They've got to kind of reorganise themselves. They waste 2 tackles getting the playmakers back because they're about to do a kick on 4 or 5 tackle. It kind of gives that defence a go. But then during the middle of the field, I get that fatigue factor.
I think the smarter coach, you look at it, Penrith Panthers a bit, definitely be one of it. They would give away the most 6 agains in the 10 because they know it's smart. They're not going to get sent off, anything like that. There's, like Tom said, no repercussions.
They're not going to challenge it.
Exactly. They just get to set their own line. They get an extra breath if they need to, and they'll just back their defense. So yeah, it's really, the smarter teams and the smarter coaches know how to utilize it, and they know what they're doing.
So we'll summarise it all then is like, what do we think? Do we keep the 6 again so far, or do you think we throw it out?
I would keep it. It's more exciting. There are a lot more blowout scores when teams are on that roll, and it's not the back in the 90s or the early 2000s where you want your 12-8 sort of games and it's just defense. You want high scoring because kids right now, obviously, league is is kind of shackled by how many views they're getting. They need to keep kids interested, and they need to keep these high scores, these huge tries. They need it, or else they're going to start dying off like we are, unfortunately.
But then it's also not just for the kids. They're trying to sell this game internationally. They're trying to sell it to the West Coast. So the higher scores, they're taking games to Vegas. They were just in Perth 2 weeks ago. They want the game as exciting as possible, and 6 agains do that.
So you're keeping it too?
I'm keeping it because then also it's big blowouts in Supercoach, and I get a lot of points.
Em, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think for someone who's not a diehard rugby league supporter, I like when there's more tries and more points being scored. I don't care about good defence. Like, put the ball on the line, let's go.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
Before we're talking about, I've covered league and rugby.
But what's your call? Are you going to keep the 60
Oh,
in?
mate, keep it awesome. Love it. Anyway,
Yeah, righto. I'll stick to all my friends over here in this corner.
I just like doing the arms in the air. So, woo,
Yeah.
60 like your
Party time.
friends. So, we've talked about league and rugby. What are your...
And netball. Hang on.
netball. Sorry, and netball, of course. What are your thoughts on player movements between the two codes? Like Zach Lomas technically coming back to rugby, Crichton coming back. Like, are you for it? Like, you happy to go and chase Nathan Cleary to come to rugby, or what's thoughts and stuff like that?
I think the way we are at the moment as rugby, we need more views, and that's one way we can do it. If we're spending our money wisely, like how much has Rugby Australia just gone and paid Suaalii to come over, and now he's just being a very expensive blocker for the Waratahs. And look, I see positive and negatives for both of it. I'd feel really bad for, say, Dylan Peach. He would be basically just about in that squad, but then if a couple more of those rugby league boys come over, they're not coming over not to play. So they'll come over, they'll play. You'd feel shit if you're just outside that squad. You're almost about to make it, and then there's an influx of 10, 15 leagueies that are going to come. They're going to take your spot. I'd see that as a really bad turn of events.
It's interesting because we just talked about netball, how you need to support the guys coming through and saying that. But I don't know. It's weird. I suppose you want the best players in those positions. So I kind of get it. If you want to play for Australia, you want to be the pinnacle. You do want to be the best, regardless of other codes.
As long as we're not blowing the entire budget that we've received this year on Nathan Cleary being incredible. He's an incredible player. He's a freak of nature. He is. But at the same time, I don't think he's ever played a game of union in his life. There is a level and there's intricacies of the game that he just wouldn't understand. Whereas the same as if we sent any of our guys over to league, like how many union guys go to league and absolutely kill it? Like a few of them do well, obviously back in the early 2000s, your Wendell Sailors and such, but like they weren't in playmaker roles. He was just a big boy out wide. Like,
and the thing we're not seeing is that we're not seeing those schoolboys that come through those, private schools in Sydney and Sydney Boys High School that play rugby union until they get picked up by league teams.
And that's exactly what Suaalii is.
Yeah.
What,
Zach Lomax, I think.
yeah,
too,
Lomax
was
would be
part of
high
that,
there.
yeah.
There'd be also
Angus Crichton.
Crichton. What's the Mark Roosters winger? He was. I think he was rugby then lead and back to rugby. Like it's all of them are from rugby program. Like, and I guess in netball you wouldn't really have. It's netball or nothing, isn't it? Like, there's no. You don't bounce between rugby and NRL, but netball is just. There's no real bounce sport, is there? Basketball or
no, netball and AFLW actually.
oh, already
Yeah, lots of bouncing. I think a lot of people retire from netball and then go to AFLW. Not so much the other way around, but yeah.
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 Why is that? Just to
I don't know. Like
I
you've
reckon
reached your
it's to-
pinnacle in
yeah.
netball, and then AFL's just there
Yeah.
and just getting numbers. Or
Yeah,
there's not much crossover. I can't imagine.
Is it to do
Yeah.
with the fact that netball and AFL have always played like in Victoria together? Like you've got your netball and AFL are like our men's and women's rugby teams.
I
like
do love those AFL clubs that they've got an AFL and a netball team
Yeah.
club all in one. It looks like a lot of fun. The culture there looks fantastic.
Yeah, I wonder, and going back to the rugby discussion a bit too, is what does our best team look like in Australia? Like, do you think we're going to be able to get a team on the park for a number of years that's going to be competitive? Are we going to throw all our money at these rugby league guys? And you kind of mentioned Joseph as being an expensive blocker. Like he's got the skill. It's just unlocking it. Like, do we have probably the coaching staff, the support stuff around that to get us to a high level?
I think a big one too, like Suaalii, I think he's a winger fullback. But I think Rugby Australia and the Waratahs would be frowned upon if they spent 1.6 million a year on a winger fullback. So I think to justify their money, they put him in the centre, which is a more key position. Say, hey, we didn't blow it all on a winger. He's a playmaker, he's this and this. Like, it's...
I don't know, but in saying that, like, we're talking about more tries, more entertainment. some of the wingers now are providing that. Like the fella from the Roosters, I'm not going to even try and pronounce his name.
Mark Nwangati Tawase.
Yeah, that Marky Mark. Like pretty much all the highlight footage is pre-game of him scoring immaculate tries on the wing. Like I reckon there's potential for him to do that, but you can't do that without a bit of defence. Unfortunately, Emma, you got to stop them from getting up the other end. But I wish it was more about the front rows. That's just all I'm saying. Like they need more profile on them.
Well, what we need to do is get all the boys over from Hay and Cyril here. They can go and teach all of the Rugby Australia boys how to do it because, geez, we'd be a very good pick and drive squad then. Hay would get some stuff organised.
Hay are a pick and drive specialist, in your opinion?
I've watched them play twice, and they go 30, 40 phases. Just whack, whack, whack. Continuous. They work right and they work left.
They're farmers.
Right.
They've got to wait for rain.
Exactly
And they're happy.
right.
They're patient boys.
They're patient men.
And they know what they're doing.
And then they just pass to their shield centres and they're through.
Yeah. But I think that's a really good point because, you know, with the World Cup coming up, and I don't know if they've approached Hay personally yet. I haven't heard if I mean, according to you guys, they don't have phones. We need to get those kind of people in the game to keep things going. I reckon the coaching support staff are a main part. Like, are we settled on our coaching team for the Australian team at the moment?
There'll be turnover. There always is, especially with a home World Cup. There's going to be turnover every single time. I like that Phil Waugh's in the top job. He's been there. He's done it before as a player. He will, in my opinion, he'll put the right people in the right roles. If that's him putting himself in the head coach role, if that's him putting himself in the 7 jersey, I wouldn't be. Could you find a single person over the age of 30 that would say no to Phil Waugh putting the boots back on? Not a single person.
I remember when he was playing and Lord of the Rings movie came out, and it was like, is that Phil Waugh or is that an orc? That is Jen said.
He had the same
orc in
aggression.
blue Guernsey. He did.
I've seen some footage of David Pocock. I reckon he'd be a good back.
That man is jacked. And he fights
That's
for
the
us,
thing,
and
a
I love it.
politician.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like, he's probably the fittest politician by a long way.
I reckon he'd win if every politician had a boxing match. Would he be the overall winner?
I don't know, Pauline Hanson.
Pauline would be a good one.
Pauline knows how to scrap.
Barnaby, he's always threatening to punch people. Is it Catter? Bob Catter?
Bob Catter.
Look, he's been in a few fights, I reckon, over his time.
1,000 daisies blue. But I don't want to talk about it.
Look, I do think, though, Pocock is too much of a gentleman. Like, he's too cool, calm, and collected. He wouldn't get fired up. That's where I think, like, you get one of those other, and not that we like to talk about politicians, but I reckon Bob Catter, you start mentioning crocodiles. Oh, mate, he would fight dirty and get right into it. Like,
The earrings come off, he's ready to scrap.
So what you're saying is if we don't win the World Cup, he's coaching the Wallabies in 2028.
Or is he playing for
Or is he
the World Cup
playing?
2028?
Captain coach. Heard it here first.
mid-round swap out. But boys, we've discussed the podcast obviously a little bit and mainly focused on the rugby side of things. But you did have, now I just wanted to ask a question. You did have a very exclusive guest as a intro into your women's rugby section. Now, from what I could understand from listening to Snippets last year, did she live with you? Did she pay rent? Like, there was a lot of questions.
There was a lot of issues with Alicia last year. No, she was busy up in QLD. No, she was awesome. Obviously, a bit of a local hero, and ran into her at the country club early last year, and just asked, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Would you like to be involved?" She said, "I'd absolutely love to. Tell me what you need from me." And we're like, God, we've got no idea that you'd say yes. Give us some time. We figured out what we needed, and she sent us some clips, and it was a shame she couldn't make it down for the finals to obviously do, because she's the Alicia Quirk Lucas medal.
Yeah, exactly.
Shame she couldn't make it down, and if she could, she can have the spare room. We can hang out. We don't hate her that much.
We did reach out to a couple of others. That's why I'm so filthy on Dylan Peach. He wouldn't return my message, actually. But yeah, no, we love the idea of showing the kids around the area, hey, we have players from here that have done amazing things. Let's get them in the spotlight. Alicia was one of them, and yeah, Dylan, Corey, Bale, April. We wanted them a part of it as much as we could. Yeah, Alicia hasn't returned my calls either. I think I made too much fun of her last year. But no, she was fantastic. To take time out of her day to help us out, it was great.
Like I said, and it's also pretty amazing that we have enough local talent to name one of the trophies. Like the women's competition here has gone from strength to strength, and we spoke about pathways with juniors and that. Having someone like that that's been to the top level from local, it's just great, especially And you too, Tommy, like you were part of the Southern Sports Academy and coaching in the juniors now too. I think the boys mentioned in the under 18s.
Yeah, 18s. Yeah. Yeah.
And congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Payments in the mail.
Yeah.
3 pairs of shorts, four hoodies.
Yeah. And no spare time.
Kit.
Good kid.
As you can see, I love kit.
Good kid.
Yeah. Sponsored kit. Maybe we should have gone to Goosey. You guys really got onto something earlier than what we.
Well, Goosey reached out to us. It was fantastic. We had no idea.
Goosey is a premium. I reckon
He's
all
brilliant.
Walker clubs besides Aggies maybe deal with
Yeah,
them.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he-
awesome. Yeah. Shout out to Josh.
So do they still do the cotton jersey for hay?
I don't think it's that they still do it. I think it's the same jersey they've had for the last 40 years. Somehow they haven't shrunk in the wash. Yeah.
They don't wash them. That's
They
a
don't
fact.
wash them,
That
they
is a fun
smell.
fact. They smell. They stink like rum. They don't. After the game, they run to the pub.
Yeah.
That's their secret of how they're so good.
Good boys.
And no wonder they pick and drive. No one's
Yeah.
getting down there with
Ooh,
them.
it's a horrible smell. What's your big plans for the podcast this year? Any special surprise up
Rugby
your
World
sleeve?
Cup 2020. No, we've introduced some interviews this year, which is cool. So we've got some mics that we can take around. So we've done a couple of interviews with some coaches and some players. We're going to continue that. We're going
Who
to
are sorry to interrupt? Who's the most funny coach you've done so far? The most interesting coach?
Benny,
there are
Benny
some
Schreiber is
characters.
hard to go past. Cal from WAC is good fun.
If you understand him.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Jesse Belchambers out of Tumut's really, really cool because we know him from when he was with City.
Yeah.
Izzy out of Griffith is awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to name drop a lot of them.
Except one.
We can just hear you murmuring in the background.
Who is it? We want to know.
No, I will say the one most interesting coach would be in the women's space would actually be my wife because she hates us doing the podcast and just accepts it. So she's a bit of fun to work with.
Yeah, because we have this is probably a bit of advice. We do have a special guest coming up in a couple of episodes' time. Guys, do you have any advice? A sports star, an Olympian that is coming on our podcast, so we're very excited. And we can't give anything away because they haven't signed the dotted line, so it may not happen. But you've interviewed a few guys now. Do you have any tips or tricks for us, guys?
I always like to take the beta role. You know, whenever I go up to them, I always say please and thank you about 1,000,000 times. Never look them in the eye. Just give them that authority. They thrive on it. Oh, it's fantastic.
They need to accept that they are better than you. They're doing this out of the goodness of their heart and the emptiness of their pockets. No, we're not paying anybody, God. But yeah, whoever you're getting on, we're keen to listen. And if you can get them in here, maybe shout them a meal. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we are spoiled by the Romano's Hotel tonight. So
Up the ROMs.
shout it if they do want to sponsor. We haven't
That'd be nice.
tied in. We're chasing a movie sponsor at the moment, a movie cinema sponsor for our movie review
Oh, we
guide.
don't have a movie this week, do we?
We don't, but
Boys, any movies you've watched in the last 2 to 3 years that
2 to
have
3
stood
years.
out for you?
Actually, sorry, before you go in, what is your favourite movie trilogy? This is one that's kind of we've been discussing
Trilogy.
amongst us.
I'm going to say the Knives Out trilogy.
Yes, yeah.
Knives
I
Out,
like them.
Glass Onion, Wake Up Dead Man. I've only just recently watched Wake Up Dead Man about a month ago. Holy heckers.
Is that the
All
newest one?
That's the newest
Never
one.
seen that one.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Out of 5, like of
Oh, four.
yeah,
The only
right.
thing was there wasn't enough Benoit Blanc.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a trilogy, but for my work, I go to the movies a lot, so I see every single movie that is out for the last 18 months. Probably my favourite recently would have been Project Hail Mary. That was fantastic. I teared up at one point.
Never heard of that. What's that?
It's Ryan Gosling in space.
Oh, he's beautiful, isn't he? He's
I know.
beautiful.
That was one I was there for work and I was starting to tear up. I'm like, oh my, okay, this is brilliant. I want to charge for this. Yeah, no, this is a
Yeah.
freebie. But yeah, no, I see a lot of movies. So if you need any recommendations, or any feedback,
Well,
let
just
me
the
know.
thing, like obviously we'd normally do a review with Beals, and he loves his movies, loves that more than talking. But we're getting him better at that too. But what would be your pick if you were to run us through a movie review?
Oh, Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
World's coming to an end and he's going to save us, basically.
yeah. And what was the plot like? Like, was it
It was
it
brilliant.
good?
So yeah, so he was.
Don't
he
give
was
too much away.
No, I would never. Basically, he's a school teacher, but he knows his shit about space. They send him up there. He runs into a Rocky alien called Rocky, and just trouble ensues. And like I said, I teared up at one point due to a very emotional scene. Just sitting there like, I'm at work. I need to pull my head in. This isn't right. But one thing, don't see the drama. That freaked me out.
You know what's
drama.
The drama. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson came out about a week ago.
Is that Twilight, dude?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as beautiful as Notebook. But yeah.
I tell you what's interesting. Bealey reviewed that movie for us last week, and
The drama?
No. The
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail
Yep.
Mary gave it also 4 stars. So it was a good test. That's why Emma was laughing because
Yep.
she was just recounting a very similar storyline. But
That's good.
Robert Pattinson, not a bloke I've seen.
Is
in
he?
a
I
lot of-
had no idea he's doing movies still. I thought
No.
he was long retired.
He's the Batman.
He's the current Batman. No. Is he like
Justice.
Is he like as he'd be a sad Batman, wouldn't he?
No,
Like,
he's a real emo Batman. Yeah.
like, oh, just gonna go save the Gotham City, like oh,
Miss Kristen Stewart.
literally, yeah. They're all vampires.
He's not a bad Batman. I do miss Christian
Who's your
Bale.
best Batman?
Oh, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
We grew up with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
All the ones before it, we were just too young. Like, we've seen them, but we were too young, so we grew up with Christian, unfortunately.
And
Not
surely
unfortunately, I love
you've got
Christian.
a favourite Batman? No.
I don't think I've seen a single Batman.
Oh, Boo Earns.
Did you grow up?
Boo Earns.
Sorry, the question was asked, how did you grow up? She grew up in a small town called Nashdale and too busy helping her father, who's a plumber. Uncle Bill, favourite listener to the show.
Free child labour.
Batman.
Never allowed the kids to sit down and watch movies back in the day. So, yeah, we're lucky she's even seen some.
Come on, Seal, Kissed by a Rose.
Oh, Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy.
Oh, let's not.
Yeah. Oh.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, I'm lost here too now. We're talking.
I can do the Batman special podcast. I love it. God, I love it. Oh, I reckon I watch a Batman movie once every
2 days.
at least 3 weeks. I reckon. I love him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Lego Batman would have to be the best though.
Is that a comedy-ish one? Are they funny? I think I've seen
Yeah,
one of those
yeah,
before.
it's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
It's brilliant.
What's the worst movie you've seen?
Idiocracy was just stupid. It was funny, but it was really stupid. So that's no, you have seen it. Owen Wilson somehow goes to the future, and he's the smartest man in the future. Everybody's so stupid. Terry
yeah.
Crews is the president.
He's great.
Yeah, they're watering
great.
crops with Powerade. That was so bad. And then what's the one with Johnny Depp as the vampire? Is that Not What We Do in the Shadows? The other one, whatever that is. I gave up on that after about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That was
never
poor.
seen it.
Didn't enjoy that one.
Didn't. Not needing to, Tommy, but don't waste your time looking at that. How about you?
Oh god, terrible movie. I went and saw again. I go all the time. I was there the other day. You, Me, and Tuscany. Oh, awful.
It
But-
sounds like a rom-com.
Yeah, it was a rom-com. You know, she goes to Tuscany to open up a villa. I don't know.
Like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it was bad.
Christmas Hallmark
I can see
movie.
the script now.
Yeah, it was bad. The sexy guy from the first season of Bridgerton was in it, and he was either wet or shirtless, like the whole thing. And look, it kept me interested, but it was pretty crap.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Isn't that the same deal for your podcast? Do you
Correct.
stay?
Yes, I'm sure.
Wet or shirtless.
90% of the time. That's why there are never guests with us. We only started recently, the interviews.
We did one interview last year with Willie Mitchell. We had him come in because we wanted to talk about Cold Cup.
Yeah.
On a serious point, we wanted to talk about Cold Cup and the history behind it. And the thought was, we'll ask him and he'll send us, no, we want to do it justice. And then he came in, the three of us got pretty pissed together. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, clothes came off. But anyway, yeah, it's weird if we have other people come in because they're usually not on the same vibe as us. If you want to come in though, feel free.
No.
Shirt's optional.
Tommy, you watched that many.
I watched this one. It was a weird one. It was about
Wow.
sorry, the boys missing and spilling beers all over the syrup. Let's play on. Clean it up.
Lucky we've got a video footage.
The worst movie I've ever seen would be one called Herbie Halloween. It's an
Is that like
Adam
Herbie Fully
Sandler.
Loaded?
No, it's Adam Sandler one.
okay, yeah.
Where he plays someone called Herbie Halloween, and it's just like sometimes just go, mate, your movie's just rubbish. Like Happy Gilmore, they're my favorite movies of all time.
Brilliant.
Billy Madison,
Brilliant.
Waterboy, them are great. And then he's done something like Jack and Jill, and like, mate, why? Like he's got my favorite and least favorite. Like it's horrible, yeah. But close second will be one is Dallas again. Then Debbie travels to Dallas.
Oh, which one? The second one?
That's it. That's it. I thought it was a rom-com,
So it's
but I
this
was,
sort of podcast.
I thought it was a rom-com, but I was a bit shocked.
it's educational for some.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Emma,
Bit of a drama.
My formative years.
poor Emma's like, and I'm not going to describe it to you. That's another.
Describe it in 3 words. Wet, shirtless. Documentary.
Sounds like the Riverina Rugby Review might have a new theme movie.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. We're going to sit down and watch it before we record.
I am not coming.
I
over for
recommend
that.
version 36. Very educational.
I reckon my worst movie, and it's not even my worst movie, but it's some of the worst acting I've ever seen. It's a movie called Red October. It's where a Russian
Like The Hunt for Red October, like the book.
Yeah. So it's
Not great.
The
The book
story.
was, have you read the book?
Yeah, I have, and the storyline's great. The problem is the casting. Now, who decided to put Sean Connery without putting on any accent as a Russian submarine captain?
Yeah, good call.
Everyone else speaks a little bit of Russian, except Sean Connery's like, Sean Connery, I am a Russian. And like speaks English the whole time. And you look at it and you go, this, because I love submarine movies more than anyone. And I just look at it and go, of all the actors in the world to do this, they were like, who are we
Val
going to pick?
Kilmer, surely.
Yeah, surely. He is, yeah.
No, get Sean.
Mel would have been busy doing Batman.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, but
Him and Arnie.
that stands out as some of the worst acting when everyone else was trying so hard to be Russian. When we've reached the hour mark, we've run out of our second jug. Gentlemen,
Third jug.
third jug.
Not the flex.
Yeah.
I'm keeping count.
Sorry, Callum, we haven't got a beer sponsor yet, but geez, we need one. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to have you in. Thank you for joining our podcast. We look forward to hearing and sharing your information on our socials as well.
Here's my breast.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
The Riverina Rugby Review, ladies and gentlemen, is the podcast to hear all things Syrah for this year, last year, and anything in between. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much.
Guys, thank you so much. We cannot wait to have you guys, if you're up for it, come and help us out.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys. It's been a bit of fun. We got the call maybe a week or two ago. Hey, boys, are you keen? And we're both, let's go.
Yeah. It's already rock. It's already rock. You guys are rising it.
Thanks for bringing us on, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Now, Emma, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for keeping us in line. Your glares have kept us on the straight and narrow.
Oh, no, I think it's a glaze of nothing. I had nothing to add to any of that.
No, but it's a pleasure to hear. And obviously, Netball, keep us on the line. We need to know what's going on with the CEO change.
I'm just glad Tommy's back to help lead this because I've got nothing.
Don't say that. Tommy is just about to disappear again. So
I ain't going nowhere.
Tommy, thanks. Tommy, it's great to have you back. Congratulations on being a dad. As I said, we will be back in the studio for the next episode. But please like, share, subscribe, do all the good things. And please let us know, Aussie Backyard Banter at gmail.com if you have any suggestions. But guys, till next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a bit of fun. Fuck it.
1, 2,